Hello and welcome back to my Road to Completion guide for Dark Souls Remastered. We're now in episode number 16. Again, make sure that you guys have a safety save set up before you enter this boss fight, just in case you guys die, okay? So just be sure you've done that. Go ahead and pop a Soulmass, and you want to sprint down this hallway and pick a side, left or right. I usually go on the left-hand side, and then when you see the boss fire a projectile, get behind the column. Now, the projectile that the boss is shooting at us now, it kind of looks like a Soulmass, if you will. That can be avoided by staying behind the column because the column will absorb the projectiles. Now that big one that you just saw right there, if you're behind the column, the big one goes through the column and can still hit you. Okay, so you have to be careful of that big one. So this boss has 3 attacks. 2 of them can be avoided by getting behind the column again. When it fires off its version of a Soulmass, see right there, and then when the big one comes, you have to roll out of the way. See the big one? Roll out of the way. And you just want to stay here until the boss fires off some bolts at you. I'll show that to you here in a second. See how the boss kind of stands up, kind of rises up in the air? When you see that, you can make a push. Keep your shield up, running a zigzag pattern. That's the safest possible projectile that the boss can fire at you. And then just get close to it, let your Soulmass take over. And then of course you can also pop a Soul Spear there at the end as well to get some damage before the boss disappears. So just to kind of recap that out, there's your trophy, by the way. You want to stand behind the columns. The only one that you have to dodge in terms of its projectiles is that one that's like a big missile, right? That big blue beam it shoots at you. When you see that, you do have to roll out of the way. If you try to stand behind the column with your shield up, it will hit you. It won't kill you, but it'll definitely damage you. So just stay behind the columns. When you see those mini projectiles coming, the column will absorb those. When you see the big one coming, roll out of the way. And then when you see the boss stand up or levitate, if you will, you want to again push down the hallway in a zigzag pattern. Keep your shield up in case some of those bolts do connect with you. And you will be able to at least block them for a limited amount of time before your stamina's out. And like I said, once you get close to the boss, your Soulmass will hit. You should be able to hit with all 5 if you haven't clipped on a wall or something, which will of course absorb some of your Soulmass, and then fire off a Soul Spear there at the end, do some maximum damage before it disappears, and just keep rinsing and repeating that, guys, until you're able to take down that boss. Once you're done with that, pick up the item that was at the end of the room, and then go ahead and set up a safety save. That way you have the trophy for defeating that boss, and you also have the Sunlight Blade, which you got from the treasure chest at the end of the hallway. And then go ahead and rest at the bonfire, safety save again, and then warp over here to Anor Londo. You can kill this Firekeeper. You'll get 1,000 souls for that. So really not that big of a deal in terms of souls, but definitely being able to pick up another Firekeeper soul will help us a little bit later on, because we can talk to the Firekeeper below Firelink Shrine and up our Estus Flask. You see at the bottom there, it says Estus Flask +2. We'll be able to raise it up a little bit more for you guys. It'll get more health when you use an Estus in the game. Now we just want to run this way. Again, just sprint toward this enemy. You don't have to target it. You can just usually kill it. Pretty simple. Run through its legs as it's dying, and then head up these stairs. We're going to be going to a new area. And this is a pretty crazy area, so you are going to have to be careful. Again, you do have some pretty good armor on, but you are going to have to be careful. These enemies can really pack a punch. Now when you get up here, there's going to be 2 boars you have to kill. We've actually had a fight with one of these boars before, but you were behind it when you first encountered it. It was fairly easy to kill because you had the kind of the advantage. This one, not so much. Now I'm showing you one way you can do it is to kind of hit it and roll as it charges you. Another way is to entice it to go all the way to the end of this hallway. I'll show you that here. You can just basically just get rid of your lock on and run away, or just back up like I did. And then this is its tether point right here. It will not pass this point. You're 100% safe right here, and you can just spam it with you know, whatever magic you want to take it out. There's one more boar, and then there's going to be a bonfire. So again, use whatever magic you want to use here, guys, to take care of these 2 enemies, because you're going to be able to rest at a bonfire as soon as you kill the second one. The second one is hidden around this corner coming up. I usually go in there with a Soulmass like you see right now, and then I have my upper D-pad slot put on Soul Spear. I just turn the corner, let the Soulmass do the work for me, and then fire me off a Soul Spear. That's normally enough to kill it in one hit. Should be good to go to rest at this bonfire. Okay, and again, you might want to go ahead and set up another safety save here since you had to make that long run and you had to kill that Firekeeper. I don't know how tough those fights are going to be for you guys if you're a new player, so just set one up just to be safe. All right, go ahead and rest at the bonfire. Make sure you have all your magic. Go up these stairs, hit the elevator. Okay, ride this all the way up to the top. Now these are going to be the enemies that can really pack a punch, so just keep your Soulmass out, keep your shield up at all times, and you guys should be good. Now these enemies are shorter than you. Okay, so if you're trying to use something like a soul arrow or something like that, you're probably going to miss a lot, and I think I showed that a few times while we're in here. But the Soulmass never misses, so ideally you want to keep it on the Soulmass if at all possible. And I think I do end up showing you guys up here in a few how hard it is to hit these little guys when you're trying to use a soul arrow. You can also use your Pyromancy Flame plus 10 if you want to switch to that when you go through here, because your combustion magic really works well on these enemies, because like I said, they're so short, but you just hold your shield up and then when they swing on you, you can just hit them with the combustion, right? And it hits them every time. So I'll leave that up to you guys. I just like to roll through here with my sorceries because I'm so used to them. So you guys can figure that out for yourself in your own game. But again, I like to roll through here with the Soulmass. Okay, we got a Chandler over here that we need to kill. Now these guys can really hurt you too if they hit you with your magic. So you can hide behind that bookshelf that I was at on the left, get the upper hand on them, and then they will disappear if you don't kill them the first time. I think that's what happens to me here. I think that this one wants to show up back here where I am. Then I have to switch to some dog. Yeah, you're gonna see it here how tricky it is to hit these dudes. See how you just fire over their heads? See that? They're so short. So you really have to wait for them to attack and then try to get behind them and fire at them before they're done with their animation. If they get finished with their animation, then they're gonna be too short again for you to hit them, right? They're gonna be moving around too much. Then I'm just trying to kill this Chandler. Okay, boom. Take that Chandler out. Most of the time you can kill it before it even disappears for the first time, but if you're not lucky, it'll just follow you around until you kill it. So I wouldn't try running past all these enemies and progressing until you've killed the Chandler. Okay, we'll just take these dudes out, just some archers. The archers are a little bit easier to hit because they're gonna keep their distance and they are standing up the whole time. I think there's another archer right here. And then I always turn around and look back because there's usually going to be a guy chasing you as well. Once you kill that guy that's chasing you, that should be good. You can hit this elevator. Okay, ride it all the way up to the top. You guys remember in a previous episode, we picked up the Ring of Sacrifice. We're about to use that. I'm going to show you what that ring does for you guys. There's going to be one enemy that we have to kill inside this tunnel coming up. Notice right there that I just dropped the elevator again. Make sure you guys do that. That's going to come in handy a bit later on. So just drop that elevator down. Okay, we'll come through here. If you have Soulmass, if you still have some, then use those. If not, you can just hit him with the Soul Spear. He's fairly easy to take out. Hey, just follow this all the way through. There's going to be some crystal lizards up here again. We're not worried about them in this run, so just kind of wait for them to disappear. But all the way to the top, there's going to be a fog gate, and yes, this is a boss, but you can't really kill the boss at this stage in the game. You can only die to the boss. So what you want to do is take your Havel's ring off, put your Ring of Sacrifice on, and what that's going to do, guys, you notice that we have 131,000 souls in the bottom right hand side of the screen. You guys are going to have your own soul count as well in your bank. What you want to do is come in here and take a death, but you want to make sure you got that ring on when you take the death. What the ring does is it basically revives you and you get to keep all your souls. You guys know normally when you die in this game, you lose all your souls until you can go back and pick up your bloodstain, right? With the ring on though, you don't have to go pick your bloodstain up and you get to retain all your souls. And we need those souls to be able to do some stuff here in a bit. So we want to take the death, but we don't want to lose our soul. Just get in here and take the death. Notice that I was trying to die more to the laser that he's shooting at me versus the crystals that are coming out of the ground. The crystals that are coming out of the ground can curse you, and you do not want to get cursed, guys. You basically have to go through the game with half your health until you can pick up a purging stone. And I do know where purging stones are, but because we're setting up safety saves, it's just going to be easier if you guys do get cursed there to just go and load up your previous safety save and get back to that point. Okay, Once you are able to die to Seathe and you're in this room, go ahead and set up another safety save and then just come up to this enemy, hit R2. That's going to cause you to kill that enemy and you'll be able to get the archive tower key, which will allow you to get out of your little prison here. You can skip this cutscene if you want. And just head down these stairs. These enemies will attack you, so be careful. But eventually, they'll just run past you like that. As soon as you start hearing that music start playing, it's kind of a god-awful sound coming from the bottom of these stairs. Those enemies will just run past you, so you can just keep it moving right here. And then you're going to be attacked on these stairs by some blue enemies. You can just use your Soulmass or your Great Soul Arrow to kill them. I think the Great Soul Arrow, I think you can kill, yeah, you can kill them in one hit with the Great Soul Arrow. As long as you've got your intelligence up to 50 and your Bellowing Dragon Crest ring on, you guys should be good. Kill them in one hit. There's a lot of them, so just be ready to attack a bunch of them. Most of them will end up bunching up at the bottom of the stairs, but you will have to fight a few of them as you come down these stairs. Okay, there's 2 more. At the bottom of these stairs, we're going to be able to pick up the Soothing Sunlight and the Bountiful Sunlight. We need those for a trophy for later on. You'll notice after you kill all these enemies, we got 1 more left. There's going to be 2 that never move. Normally all those enemies are in this room, but those 2 are kind of special. They never move and they require you to hit them multiple times. They have a lot more health than the previous enemy. Let's take them out and then pick up both of those. That's what you need, guys. Soothing Sunlight, and then the other one's going to be Bountiful Sunlight. Very important for the run. Okay, Logan's on the other side of that cage right there, but we can't quite get to him yet. So we're going to come over here, take a right, and go up the ladder. Once we get up here, you can pop a Soulmass. Just don't move. As soon as you get to the top of the ladder, just don't move. Be real still. Hit R1. Now you make your move. If you move first, they're going to attack you and your Soulmass is not going to be out and they're going to have the advantage. So just want to pop that Soulmass first. You'll be good to go. And just keep your shield up at all times. If you get hit, you just saw there, they're not going to be doing that much damage to you. The only way you can really die there, guys, is if you're just really careless or if they bunch you up in a corner. Notice that I moved away from the ladder once they started to kind of push me a little bit. And as long as they don't crowd you up there, you should be fine. Boom. Pick up the Archive Tower Giant Door Key. Okay. Head this way and you can flip that switch if you're tired of that noise. Flip that switch. All right. And we'll head down the ladder. Now we're going to go back up the staircase toward the bonfire. We still can't do much with Logan at the moment. That key that we picked up is actually going to open up a door at the top of the stairs. There's going to be a ladder. Basically, if you guys remember a second ago where those snake enemies ran past us and I was like, don't worry about them, they'll just run past you. We're heading that way right now. It's going to be a ladder we can climb and the key that we just picked up will open up that door. Got to haul it back up these stairs. And you can rest at the bonfire if you want. I think I do that in my game as well. And you can set up another safety save since you just did all that work. Remember, guys, you can set up as many safety saves as you guys want. I have some safety saves planned that I think will really help you guys out, but you can set up as many as you want. Put your Havel's ring back on so you can run a little bit faster. Rest at the bonfire. Safety save. Okay. And now we'll head back out. Go to the left. You will have these enemies to contend with. Oh, I had to rest again to make sure I had all my magic. These enemies will be spawned back in now, so I think in my game they ended up following me. No, they didn't. Okay. Must be a different time in the run. Maybe it's New Game Plus I'm thinking about, where they actually follow me and I had to kill them. And one of them actually got to the top of the ladder and I had to go up here and fight him on this little ledge right here. It was kind of awkward. But most of the time you can get up here without them following you. Now be careful right here. There's an enemy on the right hand side of this archway. Your instinct is going to tell you to go left. But if you make a right, you'll see that he's right there. Take him out first. Again, just keep popping the Soulmass. Let it do all the work for you. Gonna be 2 enemies in this little room. Be careful, just keep that shield up at all times. Okay. Head up the stairs. Now keep your Soulmass out here. When you make this left, there's gonna be another Chandler in front of you. There. If you can kill that Chandler before it disappears, that would be great. What you might want to do that I didn't do here, actually I got it. I think it's New Game Plus that Chandler got away from me. You could kill that Chandler a little bit quicker if you wanted to by popping a Soulmass and then pressing up on your D-pad so you can cycle to your Soul Spear and then let your Soulmass hit the Chandler and then hit it with a Soul Spear. That should be enough to kill it. You guys can just keep pushing through here. There's going to be a staircase down here to the right. Head up the staircase and rotate this switch. It's kind of an awkward area if you've never been here before, so rotate the staircase, take the upper path, go up 1 floor. Again, just let your Soulmass do all the work for you. Gonna be an enemy down here in the little tunnel. You can also hide behind these columns on the left and the right if you need to get some defensive, like a defensive position from their projectiles. See how there's columns to my left and kind of some columns to my right jutting out of the wall. Notice where I'm standing. See where I'm standing, guys? Beside that column, you can move up because there is a Chandler to your left that's trying to snipe you. And if you stand with the column to your left-hand side, see, he can't bother you. And then your focus is on the enemy that I just killed. Does that make sense? And you're safe that way. That way you're not trying to dodge 2 things at once because both of those enemies have projectiles. So keep your shield up right here. Kill this enemy with the Soul Spear. And rotate your camera, make sure nobody's following you. Sometimes there'll be a enemy following you there. Take a right, all the way down, check the treasure chest, and that's gonna give you guys strong magic shield. There, okay? Let's head back. Now we're gonna open up the shortcut to this area. You guys know every area has a shortcut, or most of them do. We're gonna open up that shortcut by rotating this switch. And now you wanna take the downward path, okay? The previous staircase, we took the upper path. Take the downward path, head to the right. Be careful, there's gonna be an archer up here. Keep your shield up. Okay. Boom. Take it out, hit the ladder. Remember, you guys can hold down O and you'll slide down the ladder real quick. All right, we're gonna come up here, pull the switch. That's gonna open up the bookshelf. And that is your shortcut to the bonfire. Bonfire is going to be up here on the left. Let's go ahead and rest here. Again, you guys can set up a safety save if you want. I don't know if I did here or not. I don't think I did. But if you guys want to, feel free. Okay, head back. Take a right. And you guys know there's mimics in the game, the treasure chests that turn into enemies. There's going to be one right here. But you can kill it. Remember, just pop a Soulmass and switch to your Soul Spear. Hit it with the Soul Spear and then let the Soulmass do the rest. That should be enough to kill it. And then make sure you pick up the item that it drops, the Enchanted Falchion. We'll need that for the run a little bit later on. And then do a 180. And open up this treasure chest, pick up the Archive Tower Giant Cell Key. Head back toward the bonfire. And if you didn't set up a safety save earlier, you can go ahead and set one up now. I think I do that in the run. After we do a couple things first, I think we're going to reverse hollow if you need to. If you're not human, make sure that you are human, okay, by reversing your hollow. And then we want to kindle the flame 3 times. The reason why we want to do this, we want to make sure we have 20 Estus flask here. This is a pretty ridiculous area. Like I said, these guys can inflict a lot of damage on you really, really fast. And there's going to be an enemy coming up here in a second that's going to be challenging for some of you guys. So just make sure that you pop your Estus or, you know, kindle the bonfire so you have enough Estus flask to get through there. You should have 20 after you pop, after you kindle the flame 3 times. gonna cost you 3 humanity. Notice that I had 20 in the top left and now I have 17. And now you definitely want to make sure that you set up a safety save. All right, now the craziest thing you're gonna do at this point, guys, is farm for the Chandler's Trident. It's gonna come up here in a second. There's gonna be a farming route I'm gonna show you guys. I actually got lucky and got my Chandler's Trident right here because we do have to go back and free Logan from that cell that we talked about earlier. I think I show you guys that here. Yeah, I get lucky right here and I get the Chandler's Trident off the very first time I fight one of these Chandlers. It's super rare to get it here. In most of my practice runs, it's taken me 20 or 30 minutes to get this Chandler's Trident. You do need the Chandler's Trident for a trophy for later on. You notice right there that I got lucky and got mine. I will show you the farming route later on. If you do not get the Chandler's Trident there, I will show you how to farm that out later on, okay? In fact, if you check the description of this video in the timestamps, I think it's going to be coming up at like the 26-minute mark, 26:22, I believe, according to my notes. I'll show you how to farm that, but you got to come this way anyway. But that Chandler just happens to be standing in your way, right? If you kill him and you get lucky, it's going to save you a lot of time having to farm it out. Just keep that in mind. I do have in the farming route that we also need to pick up some souls though. So you will end up farming a bit for souls if you are lucky enough to get it like I got it right there. But trust me, you're gonna get the souls you need a lot faster than the random drop on that for that Chandler's Trident. This dude wanted to chase me down here. Kill him. And we're just going down to the bottom of the stairs because we need to free Logan. Very important. Plus there's a Firekeeper soul down here as well. We just picked up another one earlier. So we'll have 2 in our inventory. That'll push us to Estus Flask plus 4. Now I don't think we have one in our inventory now. I think all we have is enough to push us to 4. All the way down to the bottom. Now, since you turned that music off earlier, all these enemies are going to be down here for you, kind of corralled into this area. And notice that it's really easy to kill them. Just let your auto targeting take over. I got a 2-for-1 right there. Because if these dudes are kind of close to one another, you can kill them both at the same time. Great Soul Arrow does all the work for you. Go. We'll open up this prison cell for Logan. Just talk to him. Make sure you exhaust his dialogue. Make sure that he's saying the same thing over and over and over again before you leave the area, just to make sure that he moves to the next position. Notice that I'm going to talk to him again just to make sure that his speech pattern. See where it says, "Don't mind me going ahead." That's the line of dialogue that you want him to start saying. Notice that I'm just going to make sure that he says it again. And then you're good to go, guys. Come to the back of the room, pick up the Firekeeper soul, and then you can use a Homeward bone. Notice that we did not rest at the bonfire in this area. Remember there's that bonfire coming down the stairs. That's because when you use the Homeward bone, you want to come back to this bonfire, okay? And then you can again pop all your soul packs. You should have 5 if you've been following this guide. You should have a total of 5. That was 2. And there should be, yeah, 2 and 1. Okay. Pop the last one. And then go ahead and set up another safety save since you guys did all that work. Okay. So let's get set up for the farming route in case some of you were not lucky enough to pick up the Chandler's Trident like I was when I had that random encounter with the Chandler earlier. Just kill all these enemies, push past them, and then take a left. Okay, take a right. Kill that enemy. Go up the next set of stairs. Gonna be another enemy up here you have to worry about. So pop another Soulmass. There. You want to keep moving too, because there is a chandler behind you trying to snipe you from across the way. Take a right, kill him. Push all the way down to this enemy. You see the staircase on the right. Go back up here. Rotate. Okay, take the upper path. You guys remember we've done this before. We're just resetting this room so we can get set up for the farming route, because there's 2 chandlers that we can farm. You guys know I got lucky and got mine on that first chandler, but in case you don't, in case you kill that enemy and you don't get it, there's another chandler that you can kill, the one that's trying to snipe you from across the way. But you do have to have the staircase, both of these staircases, put in a certain position. So again, we're just using the column on our left to keep ourselves safe. And that's the second chandler right there. Okay, so you got one behind and one in front. Just keep pushing. One soul spear will kill him. Okay. That one may end up disappearing on me. Nope, he stayed. All right, so that's the 2 chandlers that we need to kill. Now that we've rotated all these staircases the way we need for them to be, we now have access to both of these chandlers for one farming route. And like I said, this is going to take some of you guys 10 minutes. Some of you it's going to take more than a half an hour. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I had you guys buy so many Homeward bones. If you guys remember in a previous episode, actually it was a few episodes, I kept saying, hey, let's don't use our Homeward bone here, because I want you guys to have plenty of Homeward bones when we get to a certain farming route. This is that farming route. It's kind of an annoying farming route, but you guys can do it. Hang in there. Take a right up here. Again, from the bonfire, just following my lead here. Go up the first set of stairs. This is the second set of stairs. And then you're going to take a left. You're going to charge this first chandler super fast. Before it disappears, you want to hit it with a soul spear. It's going to be enough to kill it. Check the body. Wait, see if a shiny shows up. If not, push up this staircase. Keep your shield up. Go in like a zigzag motion like that. Hit this chandler with a soul spear. Check its body. Okay. And then go ahead and pop a Homeward bone. Now, a lot of times there's going to be enemies following you. Okay. So if enemies are following you, you want to check those bodies super fast. That way they don't start hitting you from behind. I'm going to show you guys that route one more time. Again, just take these 2 enemies out. Hit the stairs. Take a left. You guys know to put on your covetous gold serpent ring, right? That's going to help your item discovery. Make sure you have at least 10 humanity. And you guys should have 410 item discovery. You guys have done that before. And you guys will have the best possible opportunity for this thing to drop. Again, just push this enemy before it disappears. Soul spear. Check the body. Nothing. Pushing. Zigzag pattern. You can dodge that. Soul spear. Check the body. Okay. And Homeward bone out of there. So that's the farming route, guys. Okay. So if you don't have your Chandler's Trident, keep doing that until you're able to get your Chandler's Trident. And then go ahead and set up another safety save. Once you have the Chandler's Trident, you can go ahead and push over here and talk to Logan. Like I said, that's going to take some of you guys like 10 minutes, and some of you it's going to take a half hour, okay? So just keep that in mind. And the main thing we need to do here, we need to have at least 190,000 souls. That's another thing that you're farming for when you're trying to farm for the Chandler's Trident, because you need to be able to buy all this magic, okay? So notice I had a ton of souls, and I'm just buying everything that Logan has. And you'll see how many souls I have left when it's all said and done. So I have 67,000 souls left. Very important that you buy all that magic right there, because Logan will not move to the next area unless you've done that. Now what I'm showing you right here is that the bonfire was not working. Sometimes for whatever reason in this area, that bonfire does not work, even though these enemies are in this room. And even when you kill the enemies, you can see that when I go around this bonfire, There's no X prompt to be able to use this bonfire. Okay. So what you can do to fix that is just save and quit the game. Load back in and then the bonfire will work. Okay. So keep that in mind. And that's with any bonfire, guys. Because remember, if enemies are close to you, you will not have access to the bonfire. All right. Now with whatever souls you guys have left, you can push your faith to 15. See that? The faith is not that important. If you just want to farm enough here to get enough to buy all the magic, there'll be plenty of time for the rest of the game to level up your faith. I do have some of that, some fail safe set up for the run, so you guys will have plenty of opportunities to level up your faith. I think there's about 3 or 4 bonfires in New Game Plus where, like, I have my faith already set up to its max level, but I'm still telling you guys to make sure that you're leveling yours up, because I knew this farming route for the Chandler's Trident was going to be the thing that kind of, you know, might put all of our souls on some weird trajectory, right? Some of you guys were going to have 190 like me. Some of you guys weren't, because I knew some of you were going to be able to pick up your Chandler's Trident quick. And for some of you, it was going to take a long time. And some of you might not want to farm this out for the extra 50,000 you're going to need to level up your faith. You might just go, look, I just want to get the Chandler's Trident and, you know, buy all the spells from Logan and then dip. And if you want to do that, that is fine. Faith is not something that we're ever going to use for like our stats necessarily. Like we're never going to be using the faith-based magics or anything to kill enemies with. But we do need to get our faith up to a certain level to get a trophy for later on. Okay, once you're done with all that, set up a safety save and then make your push down here to the Crystal Cave. Notice that we picked up those Prism Stones just a second ago from that treasure chest underneath the stairs that we dropped. You guys remember we bought some Prism Stones earlier. Those 20 is really going to give us the edge in this next area that we're going to. We're going to have to use those Prism Stones to cross over a very treacherous area I'll show you guys. Now it looks like you're going to die here, but notice the snowflakes are hitting something that you can't see. So there are platforms in this. Make sure you get that humanity, by the way. There are platforms in this area that you cannot see, but you can follow the snowflakes and it lets you know that there's really ground underneath you. Okay. Notice this section right here. It looks like you're going to die, but you won't. See how I'm just following the path of those snowflakes and you're good to go. Okay. Now this is the area that's going to kill all of you. I think that I died here too, but if you save and quit really fast, yeah, he accidentally knocked me off. But if you save and quit real fast while you're falling off the edge and you load back in, you'll be right there at that enemy. If not, guys, that's fine. Just go back to your safety save and make the run back. Right? Make sure you pick up the Prism Stones underneath the stairs though. Either way works. But if you can save and quit super fast, then you can kind of still be here. And now I'm going to try to get past him, just making sure that I heal in case he gets a lucky shot. He can one-shot you too, even though you have your stone armor on. Heal you really quick. The main thing is you want to get past him, come up here and take a left, and then it looks like you're going to die right here, but trust me guys, you won't. Walk off the edge, do a 180 and go inside of the cave. Now this may take you guys a little bit of time to kill him, but it's a lot safer than trying to fight him up there on that bridge. Now if you can kill him up there on the bridge, then that just makes this fight a lot quicker. But this is by far the safest play. Now notice that if you don't get all the way outside of this cave, your soul spears and all your magic is going to hit the top of the cave. You're not actually hitting the enemy. So what you want to do is push into the cave, then push all the way out past the cave, almost like you're going to be butting up against the enemy's body, and then let your magic go. Notice that I'm hitting R1 as I'm coming out of the cave, so that by the time I get out of the cave, I'm casting magic. You don't want to wait until you come out of the cave and you're right next to this enemy's body before you hit R1. At that point, you're probably still going to get hit. Okay. Just make sure that you're hitting R1 and then coming out of the cave, and you should be good. Again, it's going to take a little bit of time here to kill him because he does have a lot of health. And but you should be really safe. To my knowledge, he will not fall off here. When I first started building this guide for you guys, I was like, you know what? It might be possible to get him to fall off of this platform, but I don't think that he does. If you can get lucky enough to get him to fall off though, that will be great. But make sure you use all the magic that you want to use here, because after we pass this area, we're gonna be going back to the bonfire anyway to get a replenishment on your magic. So don't worry about running out of magic. This is the last enemy that you need to kill before you're able to get a complete restore on your magic. So I think I've almost got him. We got some great soul arrows. When he jumps back like that, that's a great opportunity to really come out of the cave and get some shots in, because you know the chances that he hits you is a lot less at that point. Once he dies, set up a safety save. Very important that you set up a safety save right now. You want to have access to all your Prism Stones. Notice we have 60. You want to have access to all your Prism Stones now. If you die, you want to be able to load back into your safety save and be right here with all 60 stones. For those of you who are advanced players, you will know how to get through this without using Prism Stones. But for those of you who are beginners, you will definitely want to use Prism Stone. Just keep hitting square, and you'll notice that the Prism Stone lands, and then you just basically walk to the Prism Stone. Okay. You can also look at the snowflakes, but again, they can be really misleading if you're not familiar with actually where the invisible platform is located, right? So when in doubt, throw a Prism Stone. That's one of the reasons why I had you guys buy so many and then loot the chest for 20 before you got to this point, okay? The best way I can describe the path, it's kind of like a Z. And I think I show that at the end. We have to cross this gap to get a blue Titanite slab. Very important for the run. But the path you're taking is like, it's like in a Z shape. I do believe I show you guys that at the end. But right, I don't know if it's before I pick up the slab or afterwards, but I show you the shape of this. And sometimes you're still going to die, guys. I'm not going to lie. If you're walking on these Prism Stones like you see me doing right now, sometimes the game is still going to knock you off the platform, because remember, you are fighting against physics and the platform you're on is slanted. Sometimes it's flat, sometimes it's slanted. If you want to know if you're on the slanted surface or not, you can actually rotate your camera so that it's at your feet. And if one leg is longer than the other, you're on the slant, and you want to kind of be careful. And notice right there, I tossed a couple of Prism Stones and they fell all the way down to the bottom. Okay. That means there's no platform there and you need to readjust. Notice that I took a right. So we were going straight. Now I'm taking a right hand turn. And then in just a second, we're going to take a left and we'll be headed straight toward the platform that we need to be on to get the blue Titan. Okay. Reason why I like throwing down so many Prism Stones is because if you're following the snowflakes, see there we go. See how I threw that one and it fell off the edge? If you're following the snowflakes, guys, it's going to look like, oh, that snowflake just fell, you know, 2-3 feet from me. So I can just walk straight. But what'll happen a lot of times is there'll be a gap in between where you are and that 3 feet and you'll die. So by throwing down these Prism Stones, you know for a fact that where you're walking is safe. And like I said, really the only thing that can kill you is the physics. If the game just kind of knocks you off because you're on the slanted. Then in just a second, we're going to take a left. See how it fell all the way down? I'm adjusting my path to the left. Keep going straight. Now I know for a fact that if I keep running right now, I'll be fine, but I'm just throwing these down because I want you guys to see the path. Like I said, if I were to die right now with my 25 stones, I would just load up my safety save. I would have 60 stones. The enemy that we killed on the bridge will be gone, and I would just be able to run this again. There's the blue Titanite slab. And I think see how I show you guys, see how it's kind of like a, well, I guess it doesn't really look like a Z there, but it feels like a Z when you're coming from the other side, but it's like a Z shape. You're just going straight, taking a right, taking a left, and then you just go back. But you don't have to run back through it, guys. Just use a Homeward bone, get back to the bonfire, and then we want to go ahead and tune our magic. Okay, we're going to put on the Chaos Storm. We're going to put on Combustion and then Crystal Soul Spear. Right there. Okay, once you guys have that done, just set up a safety save. That's gonna wrap this one up. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments below. I'll see you guys right back here in the next one. Be good. So I wanted to take a second and tell you guys about my dream. My dream is to wake up every single day and create guides just like the one you just watched here on YouTube full time. Now there's several ways that I can monetize my work in order to make that dream come true. Number one, I could do Google ads. Number two, I could do sponsorships. Number three, I could do endorsements. The only problem with those three options is that I think they're gonna degrade the quality of what I'm trying to produce here on Square One Games. Not only that, but I don't want to try to pitch my subscribers something that I don't necessarily believe in, and that's why I've decided to just go the Patreon route. If you want to see more guides like this on YouTube, you also want to have that person that you can go to where you're gonna get an answer to your comments. Okay, I've responded to probably 90+% of every comment ever left on my channel, and I've been on YouTube for 6 years. You can go to any one of my videos, look in the comments, and I'm in there. Think of it like customer service. You know, that's exactly what I like to do from my community. So if you guys want to help get more guides like this up on YouTube, I just need more time to do it. That's it. So hopefully you guys will support me in that if you like this kind of content. Thank you.